Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to a video that has been a long time coming. It is my reaction to the Gizmoplex The Bubble episode from Season 13, Episode 12, I believe it is. And I've actually had this reaction and the Christmas Dragon reaction recorded literally since they came out. But for whatever reason, I don't even remember whether I was just sick of the Gizmoplex or had something going on in my life. I just never finished them. I just never edited the videos. And I actually got a comment on my Discord saying, hey, when are you going to put those up? Are you ever going to put those up? And I was like, you know what? I should find those files and put them up. So here we are. So this one is, again, for The Bubble, which is Joel's second episode in the series, and in the season. And let me tell you something. I did not remember getting this mad, but apparently I got very mad because I just finished the edit, and now I'm putting this up, so just recording this now. So I hope you guys enjoy it, but I just wanted to get you guys this little preamble. And in both episodes, I think I must have been a little bit sick. I'm a little sniffly. I'm breathing kind of heavy, so I do apologize for that. But I hope you enjoy this video, this reaction to the Gizmoplex episode 1312, The Bubble. Okay guys, in a quick little audio edit here, as I tried to upload this to YouTube, there were not one, not two, not three, but about 10 different times this movie was blocked for copyright because of the visuals of the movie itself. Not the episode, the movie. So, there's going to be several long moments where I'm going to have to, like, either zoom in on myself or some kind of, you'll see me do some kind of weird edit visually, but that's what it is. Because I want you guys to still get my commentary, but yeah, apparently the movie, even just having the visuals of the bubble on screen were enough to get it blocked over the entire world. Which, as you can probably tell from my voice, super frigging frustrating, because I'm looking at the list of stuff I have to edit right now, and I'm really mad. But I will do it, and you guys will still have this video as intact as I can make it. So the weird edits, I'm sorry, the weird visuals, but that is what we're gonna do. Please still enjoy the video. Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my reaction video for Mystery Science Theater 3000, Season 13, Episode 12, The Bubble, on the Gizmoplex, Episode 229 overall, apparently. So, this is the last, what I will call, regular episode of this season. For those that didn't follow along super closely to what was going on, this is the second to last episode of the season, but it is the last episode with a solo human host. In this case, it is Joel. I kind of want the intro to this to be quick, because it's just going to be repeating things I've said before. The idea of having both Emily and Joel in one season where Jonah still existed was too much. It's too many host gimmicks in a season that's this short. If it had been a 24-episode season, it might have worked better, but it is only 13 episodes, so it doesn't work very well. I guess Joel got 2 because it was a Kickstarter reward. Okay, you would think 13 total episodes, one with all the hosts, so that is removed from the equation, now you got 12. Joel thinks the stretch goal gets 2, remove that, now you got 10. You'd think that between 2 hosts, Jonah and Emily would each get 5, but instead, Jonah got 6 and Emily got 4. So it's like, instead of making the episodes now even between those 2 hosts, because Joel got his extra one, and they took it out of, like, Emily's lot, is kind of what it feels like. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was the plan the whole time, because they probably knew they would get that money, because everyone worships Joel. But that's a problem for me, that, like, it feels disrespectful to Emily, and I don't know, I just don't like that, because Emily's not my favorite host on this, by a long shot, but she seems nice, she seems fine. I don't know why you would do that. And you know I love my boy Jonah, but it does kind of seem weird that he gets 6 and she only gets 4 when Joel gets 2. Just the numbers, to me, don't make sense. So I already had that issue with it. Secondly, is that Joel's original episode started out pretty strong for this season and then completely fell off by the end. But a lot of these episodes do that this season. It became more and more common where, like, the first segment of riffing was probably okay, and then it gets slower and slower and slower. But also, they changed his Tom Servo's voice to Josh Weinstein, who was the original Tom Servo. While that's cool fan bait, I feel like that's also really rude to Connor, who does the Tom Servo for Emily, which is the one that Joel kind of gets abducted and given to Joel, basically, for this. I don't like that. I think it's disrespectful to both Emily and Connor, by a lot. I don't like that at all. And again, it's like, how much frigging fan service do you want in one season? Especially when the fan service is kind of low quality. Like, it's not well done overall. So, the one thing I will say, too, is I do my absolute best to be fair with these. I know some people might watch these and be like, no, you're just the worst. And I would understand why you would think that. But I'm giving my fully honest opinion as someone who adores the original series, who adores Jonah as a character, who adores riff tracks, like, who loves all these things and wants them all to work. Who loves female riffers as well. I feel like I have to point that out just in case you're like, you don't like Emily because she's a girl. I love Bridget Mary Jo. I've riffed 2 things myself before, and I want to do more. Nothing against female riffers at all. It's just I don't think that her character or her riffs have been anything stand out-ish, if that makes sense. With this episode, I, just like every other one, I am going to be completely open and honest with everything. I hope that, you know, it is better than I am assuming it will be. I don't expect much from this at all. My expectations are literally underground at this point. They'd have to dig. I have a feeling they might when we know what the plot is, but we'll get to that in a second. But I don't want it to be. I swear, if the riffing is as good or better as, like, Sumeru, I will absolutely say, yes, this riffing was good. If the host segments are just as good or better than the ones in Gamera, I will say, yes, these host segments are good. If the episode as a whole is a better episode for this season, like Munchie, I will say that it is good. I just highly doubt that will be the case. I think that we've all given, not just this season, but the whole modern era, I guess, if you want to call it that, of Mystery Science, an extremely fair chance. And it's just never been consistent. And I don't know if it ever will be. Or unless it's consistently mediocre and below is this form of consistency, I guess. So let's just get into this. We have The Bubble, and it says, in the theater, the crew watches as a married couple finds themselves in a mysterious town in the bubble from 1966. Meanwhile, all 3 test subjects work together to develop a top-secret plan. So, I love the idea of, like, everything is not what it seems, and your world is actually... Are we just in a snow globe? Are we, like, you know, I love that kind of idea. One thing I want to focus on is the plan of the 3 test subjects. We've had 2, 3, only 2 or 3 host segments in this entire season since Emily, even if you want to say since Emily's been here, okay, fine, it's episode 3, of the hosts saying, hey, I bet we can find a way to outsmart the Mads. One of the reasons I don't like this, I just want to say it this way. I don't mind them having escape plans. Not at all. I think that's totally fine. I think those can be funny. But the way they did it in classic episodes worked way better, where it was like the opening host segment. Think werewolf. There's the one where they send Crow down into Deep 13 through the umbilicus. There's the one where they try to, like, take off in, like, a jetpack. All these are Mike, by the way. And those are all just in the opening. Those are, like, where the invention exchange goes in these episodes. That's where the escape plan goes. And that's it. They're funny, they're quick, and it shows them trying to escape in ways that make sense. But in this, they drag it out so long. And in the Gauntlet, they do as well, when Jonah's gonna kind of try to build something that can maybe get him out of there, or at least trap the Mads. They drag it out so long. And it's better when it's quick. I would much rather them have had, like, maybe an escape plan each at this point, have them all fail, and then have them work together. Maybe that could have been where these 3 or 4 host segments led to. Especially also that I know these Mads are dumb. I know these Mads are dumb. But there's a way. There has to be a Mad that can comedically be stupid, but also be smart. That can be both. I think Dr. Forster and Brain Guy are the better examples of that. Where, like, Frank was, like, just super stupid, but Dr. Forster was smarter. And then with Pearl and her crew, Pearl could be kind of easily bamboozled sometimes, but Brain Guy would be like, girl, please, you have to know this is stupid. So you have to have a Mad that's a little bit smarter. And with King and Max, you don't have that. They're both just idiots. So that already messes up the balance of the Mads. And then when you make it that they're so stupid that they can't understand rhymes. Especially when if this wasn't a musical show, then maybe I could just swallow that and be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but fine. But it's a musical show and they've had songs. They've had songs with the guys before. So it's very stupid. Even if they had them talking in pig Latin, and that's why they couldn't understand them, or something. Like, they're that dumb. But rhyming? Literally newborns, like, can understand rhymes. Anyway, as you can probably tell, I'm not looking forward to that portion of it. If it's better than I think, if it's actually funny, great. My prediction is nothing will happen. I think I said this at the end of the mask as well. My prediction, it'll come to F all. Nothing will happen. Just like with the Reptilicus robotic kiss, whatever it was. Just like with the Mads ashes being spread to idiot control. Now, it will lead to nothing. It'll not even a joke. That's what I mean. Not even just, oh, plot-wise it leads to nothing. Oh, but it's a comedy show. It won't even lead to comedy. It'll lead to nothing. I can almost guarantee. If I had money to spare, I would put it on that nothing's gonna happen. Nothing funny, nothing plot relevant, nothing will happen by the end of it. I'll give it this. The one thing they might eke out at the end of Christmas Dragon, not even this one, is Joel getting out of there. Maybe they'll eke that out so he doesn't have to come back if the Gizmoplex keeps going. But we'll see. Let's get started with Season 13, Episode 12, The Bubble. Le Buble. Le Michael Bublé.
Don't you think Paramount will flip once they hear these ideas?
Yeah, who wouldn't buy into this?
Hey,
Okay, so it's still
I'm
Connor
Joe
right now.
Robinson,
Also, Crow's gonna die in that shirt.
It should be the first.
It's a good day to dine.
It sure is, so don't forget to listen.
Why is Tom's voice kind of like, kind of talking through a speaker a little bit?
With.
I don't even know why they're there yet. I don't even care, though.
We all know the standard flavors.
Butter, nacho cheese.
I'm just tired of, like, the fact that these seasons insist on having introducing characters and introducing plot lines, and then nothing is explained. Like, at least Emily had a reason to be there. To me, the problem with Joel isn't, oh, Dr. Cabal said go get Joel. It's like that he's from the future. It's never explained. It's never explained. He's from the future, why he's alive, why he was back in space. I'm just... good. And I didn't expect this to explain any of it, but the fact that it didn't even explain why he has her bots again and why it's Joel's turn a second time, just, I don't like it.
Check it out. We'll just take the classic hot dog, simply place it in the pop duster.
Why would you ruin popcorn
You can hear
with
it
that?
working. Yeah, we can do the same thing with red
Again, why are you ruining popcorn? Also, again, like... Joel is supposed to be the whole reason these effing invention exchange exists, right? Which often weren't that great anyway. They were like, eh. Because he's like a prop comic, right? Then he should be getting the ones that actually either look kind of cool or actually really funny or something. All they had to do, have a button in the thing, so when he puts the snack in, he hits it and it like sprays the popcorn with water, but it's a flavor, quote unquote. It literally is just a bucket on top of popcorn that he's just throwing shit in. It's doing nothing. Like, it's not, there's not an effect. There's not even an effect. Not even a minor one. Again, a lot of the invention exchanges are like that, and they already freaking suck. But, like, Joel, you're supposed to be the invention exchange guy. It's all about kissing your ass with these invention exchanges. Please have one that does something. The fucking Bubble fan does more than this, dude.
Let's not forget the peanut butter and chocoholics in the audience.
Oh, that's me. Gimme.
Reese's Pieces don't even have chocolate in
There
them.
we go. Wow, it is pretty good. What is this stuff anyway? Oh,
That's the tears of my enemies.
wow.
You wouldn't think it would be that good, but
So those are
I'm
thick
addicted to
tears.
it.
It is really delicious. Where did you get the cheers?
Oh, I got them for you while you were sleeping. You know you cry in your sleep, right?
Wow, it works for me. This is delicious. What do you think, sirs?
Okay,
Wow.
guess what? You know what I appreciate about that Crow, about Kelsey Crow? Is that Joel is his enemy, just like mine at this point. Okay. Again, they're trying to make we're gonna try a little bit of dark comedy, you crying in your sleep. Okay, you've already used that with Jonah. Crying and screaming in your sleep. You've already used that with one of these current hosts. But anyway, it being Joel doesn't make sense. My question is, then why was he back in space in the first... They didn't have to steal him and put him back, like... He went back to space of his own free will that we know of, but we don't know what happened. So I don't feel bad if Joel's crying out there. You put yourself in this situation, sir, by living an extra 1,000 years and putting yourself back in space.
All night working on that one. Eye roll. Max!
Oh my god.
Hey,
She acts like she's 13.
Are you worried about pest?
May possibly be one of the worst films we've ever presented.
They always say that. You know, at this point, try me. Try me. Please. Please be one of the... I hope it's one of the worst. I hope. Because they're always saying, this season we have one as bad as Manos. They say that every season. Especially every new season where Joel's been involved. This is the next Manos. Again, one of the biggest differences, I think I said this in another review, maybe it got cut, I don't know, between this group saying it and Riff Track saying is Riff Track says, this is the worst thing we've done since X. 99% of the time they are right. It is one of the worst, like, when they're like, Suburban Sasquatch is one of the worst things they've done, they're right. Lichen Colony, one of the worst things they've done, they're right. When Mystery Science says it, it never is. Like, when this group says it, it never is. I'm not saying they haven't done some crappy movies, but it's never one of the worst they've done. They always say it is, and it never is. So, try me. Let's go.
Sorry, not sorry.
Hey, how bad could it be?
Why is she like 11?
Manos.
Well, let me put it this way. We built the whole King of Chrome system around Manos, the handsome feet. And even that didn't have the effect this movie's having on our facility. This just may be the wolf mother of all bad movies.
Fuck off. There's no way. There's no way. I'm calling it right now. I will watch this hoping it's as bad as Manos or worse. Hoping it's that terrible. There is no way. And now they're making a big deal out of it. It was bad enough. When I said, they always say that. They do, but it's on like Twitter or it's on the Kickstarter pages or whatever. They're like, this is going to be the worst one we've done in however many years. But that's always just talk outside of the films itself, outside of the movies, the episodes. So for them to say, it's so bad, like, it could be worse than Manos, the king of all bad movies, like, do it, I dare you to give me a movie worse than Manos, I dare you to give me something Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny levels of terrible, please, I'm begging you for something in this season to hold on to. Give me this one thing where you're not just kissing your own ass. One thing where you make a claim like this and it's true. Please, Joel. Please. At least it's Connor doing Tom and not Josh. They didn't change it back, which is what I'd heard they did or were gonna do, so I'm glad they didn't.
Pains are coming faster now.
So they're gonna crash, and it's gonna be this really weird town. It happens to be in its own exclusive little bubble. It's gonna be The Village by Shyamalan or whatever, mixed with like The Truman Show. I've never seen any of those movies.
You know, a laugh every day kind of thing.
Don't worry about your wife. I really don't need you.
But I need you.
Why would he take her up flying? I assume she's pregnant. Why would you take her up flying that pregnant? In that small of a plane?
Still beats Greyhound.
Again, what? Like, unless this was an emergency hospital lift, why is she going this
Breaker,
pregnant?
10-4, good buddy.
Just hang on for a little while longer. We'll be out of this.
Hold on.
This guy's a hell of a pilot.
Little
According to
while
Craigslist.
longer. Okay, so it is to get to the doctor. Okay.
Yeah, there's
why-
gotta be a rest stop around here somewhere.
Did they have to charter a private plane? There was nothing else they could do? That just feels really weird
You
to
appear to
me.
be going through a car wash, over.
Yeah,
Got a sick woman aboard.
I'm about to say, at this point, you just land wherever there's a place near a hospital.
Please.
Hurry! If he's born over international waters, he can never be president!
This opening sequence.
And you're a lousy pilot.
Oh, there's Ugly Gypsy.
Why?
All of a sudden, it's WandaVision.
Oh, there's a...
In
Aww.
case of emergency, break glass.
Does this say explosion proof?
Well, is he really in an incubator?
That's what the man said.
Why can't you see him?
Cloaking device.
Don't they only need that if it's like preemie? Here's a problem already with claiming this is as bad as Manos. A big factor in how bad a movie is the quality of how it was shot and
If
presented.
that's at all possible.
Cinematically, this is already much more visually and auditorially
Ask the
pleasing than
doctor the
Manos.
baby's name.
Not saying it's good, but it's a lot better than Manos and Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny and a bunch of other bad movies.
Tell me where a telephone.
That's exactly what I was thinking! That's exactly what I was thinking.
Townspeople shun the...
Why does this look like it's 1897?
All this guy does is.
So are they robots?
Listen. What'll it be, gents? What'll it be, gents?
Yeah, not terrifying
So-
at all.
If the people just copy everything, say the same thing like the cab driver did, or the doctor don't say anything, are they robots? She looks like one of the girls. That's like exactly the same kind of thing they wore in Gunslinger. No sound, like her shoes aren't even making
She's
sound.
dancing.
What does that mean? Like, is that
Yeah,
bad
kinda
sound
takes
design,
the
or is it
fun out
like,
of it when there's no music?
or is that for real? In which case, why can't you hear her feet? Like, wouldn't you be grabbing the pilot by the collar, carrying
Better
your
call
wife
my
and baby
tell her
out?
I can't find a phone.
And and I'm still boring old Clark Kent.
2 beers coming up.
He's got to do a turnaround to Miami in an
The
hour.
hell?
I've heard I like beer, but this is
I
ridiculous.
literally don't know if it's supposed to be that he's so wasted or if this is the
Any
town's
circus really
evil
can
magic
play
or something.
anything.
What?
Hi, Papa.
Do you not remember my name?
Can we see the baby out,
Stray dogs
please?
adopted me for the night.
Hey, I don't know where the heck we are or what's going on.
I just saw our son.
Is he okay?
Molting.
There wasn't a soul out there.
Must be your deodorant.
It was midnight. Maybe they were all asleep.
Another step and I'll scream.
What?
You know, you're about 8.5 months too late.
Can you
Oh,
not
Jesus.
sit on my arm?
Oh no, please no SA jokes to your newly unpregnant wife.
Waiting room on a wood.
Now that you've magnificently fulfilled your role in life as a stud,
Go on.
the
Ew.
only thing left for you.
So far, it's like nothing special about the riffs compared to the rest of the season. Pretty standard season 13 stuff. The movie itself, I'm sorry. Maybe we'll get to it eventually, because Manos does get worse and worse. But Manos feels icky and weird from, like, the time you hit go. You know? It's already so bad. Now, this is boring. It is boring. Not saying it's a good movie by any stretch. But, visually, it is better. Even in this poor print. Story-wise, at least I'm wondering what's going on. At least I do want to be sure the baby and the mom are going to be okay. So, I'm already way more invested than in Manos, and this is just nowhere near as bad as Manos or anything like it at this point. Or Monster on Go-Go, like, come on. But we shall see. Now it's time to make some
I don't
rhymes.
get it.
I want to
What's up
kill
with all the
myself
stuff
in time.
flying at the camera and the
Kicks in.
Whoa, you alright there, little buddy?
You're listening to DJ Radios on 84.3 The
Oh, no.
Biz.
What the heck? Since when was your head a radio?
This is DJ Pretty King in the morning.
This is a very unusual phenomenon.
Jimmy the
Filler. This whole scene is filler. It's filler.
This is
It's filler.
amazing.
It's filler, and it doesn't matter at all.
Maker. Egg tooth in the
I love
fellas in the
Growler,
morning.
but it'd be better if they're on a ship
Candy Bag.
instead of doing this ridiculous time feeling terribly unfunny shit.
Dr. Stepdad is in. The Juke of breakfast.
No, thank you.
This is still going.
Glad and the
I'm just sad. Growler and Waverly, especially Growler, but Growler and Waverly having two other bots that don't have to riff, that aren't Gypsy, thank God. Have like you could. They're so Gypsy's just boring. You have so much potential, especially if you're gonna make it that now they work with the bad guys. I don't like that idea because I love them. I love Growler, especially want them to be good guys. But if you're gonna have them be henchmen, you can have scenes with them that are actually funny or fun to watch, or have them interact with King and Max more often and more directly. You know, something. And I'm not saying those would be good either, but just like what it was just I'm hitting him, and it's like just bad radio names over and over and over, and it just kept going. And going, and it wasn't funny, and it was never funny, and I thought maybe eventually it'd be like in-jokes or something. Maybe the names could be based off of characters in these movies or something clever, but that's what I get for expecting anything clever from this pile of hot garbage. Lord, I'm so tired of it. So that,
getting it away.
Hey, Tom.
so literally, it had nothing to do with anything. I thought it's like King has this stupid idea, but maybe it would somehow tie in to the escape plan, or something, or Growler Waverly would drop some sort of irrelevant information, or at least something funny. It was just a minute and a half wasting our time. I can't do this! I feel like I'm a little more brain dead after all that, to be honest.
Paper. Morning paper.
So, like,
Paper.
did aliens kidnap all these people and,
book. Buy
like,
my
to
book.
pretend this is, like, a real town? What is happening?
Did you find him yet? Cops, the law.
I stole that cab. I gotta be thrown in jail.
Maybe it's a way out crib.
Crib, that's right. I have a baby. I keep forgetting.
Bring on the talent. Bring it on.
This pilot is like, is he just constantly smashed?
Whoa, somebody said
No!
that massage chair just...
Sorry I'm late. Traffic was crazy.
Look, is this weird? Yeah, but the last movie you showed us was The Mask.
Sounds like a Tyler the Creator song.
So it's like, do you expect me to find this any weirder than that?
Having hallucinations.
Because I don't.
Don't mess with that girl, baby.
Oh, too soon, Mom.
Yeah, that's weird. So,
Incubator.
is it like that you sit in that chair and then you become hypnotized for the town? If so, how did every single person sit in it? Unless someone led them to it, I guess, and was like, sit here, because I don't understand why else you would do that. Like, the pilot's just being stupid. Oh,
You got some kind of a shock treatment.
What?
A shock treatment.
is that what it's supposed to be? Like when they shock your brain for your mental illness and stuff?
When did he get ill?
Like an
Right
extra
after you got a
normal or
license
whatever?
too?
I'm going to get my baby and take him out of here.
He
Right?
has to stay in the hospital another week.
Another week? He looked fine!
This stupid place.
Get him to a safe hospital!
Come on.
We have dinner reservations.
Are they literally just gonna go into a mine shaft?
Bashful, you know, I'm the same.
What?
Went upstream. And as soon as Tony gets back, he wandered off somewhere.
But it was your
Why
turn
did
to
you-
watch the Tony.
Why did you let him wander off? What is wrong with you?
Psychological. Well, once I was assigned to do an article on a shock treatment device. I went to one of the state mental hospitals, and while I was there, I saw
See,
one
so
of the
okay.
psycho patients get a treatment.
So,
Yikes.
someone
Well,
took
when you sat
all
in
these
that chair or
patients
whatever it was,
that aren't psychos,
humming
that
dynamo
aren't mentally ill,
sound, the
and they're forcing them into
convulsions
shock
that you
treatments,
had,
which is like bzzing
complete
them.
relaxation from tension. The
So
joy
basically,
filled
electronic
was-
lobotomies, but they're not like smacking sense back into them like with Tony, I guess.
You still think a movie company built that place?
Netflix, those monsters.
People.
Second or third meta Netflix
I've been
joke
around
this
almost as long as
season.
the two of you put
Someone's a
together.
little bitter.
32.
One thing that.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah,
have
the
breaks.
heck?
I forgot.
Yeah,
What the hell's the matter with you? Are you drunk
yeah.
Because
Slap
that's
something
my
into this
thing.
dude. Kill this dude, Tony. I wouldn't leave her alone in the car with the baby, though,
Whatever
just in
it is,
case.
It's filthy.
Yeah.
It's our old headlights. What? Yeah, what's
Oh, it's a mirror?
I'm gonna make the truck do
Oh,
a
it's the
flip.
bubble. Okay. Oh, shit.
What?
Ram it.
Ever what?
Get the baby out of the car and just be like, "Meow," and get through it. Go.
Check out.
I guess you could drive around the edge of it to see if you could find a place where there's an...
Mom,
Because
can you
someone
come
has
pick
to
me
be
up from
running
this
this.
sleepover? It's not...
Thing doesn't stop.
It can't, and it won't, and it don't.
We went along, I think.
Wait, there has to be...
I've seen it, but I still don't believe it.
What do we do?
Talk to
No,
the
there
man.
has to... Okay. There has to be an opening or a secret better town somewhere in this bubble. Something of people that are running it. Because how did they survive for a week? Obviously, they were being fed. Obviously, the baby was being fed in the hospital without being with the mom. Clearly, they have actual food, drink supplies that they can get. So that means that there's either a better town somewhere of like the masterminds in the bubble somewhere, or there is an opening somewhere where people can like come in to drop off the supplies and then leave. Right? Maybe it's like a Disney World that's all underground, like the utilidors or whatever. Because I'm just like, how else? Because even if you want to say, oh, once you're lobotomized or whatever, electro-chaired, you don't have to eat. But they were obviously being fed if they were there for like 8 or 9 days. I don't care how depressing the ending of this movie is, because they said that it like has a weird existential thing, right? I don't care how depressing the end of the movie is. Whoever decided, it was probably Joel, but whoever it was, I'm not going to just blame it on him. Whoever thought this is bad as Manos and we're gonna hype up the shit out of it saying it is as bad as Manos and so bad that the fucking King of Chrome can't even handle it. Whoever said that is either a liar who just did it for marketing purposes or has the lowest tolerance for bad films I've ever seen. Again, it's not a good movie. Visually though, it is way better. Auditorially, it is way better. And story-wise, I'm at least invested to see who's behind this. Is it really boring and taking too long to get to any answers? Yes, it is. Am I actually invested a little bit? Yes, which is more than I could say for Manos and half the movies these guys have done. So, like, whoever said that is just either, again, an absolute liar or the lightest of lightweights with bad movies I've ever seen. Again, I don't care how depressing the ending of this is. You know why? Because have you all seen any of Season 2? Where almost every single movie ends up with, like, the main characters dying or terrible things happening. Have you actually seen Manos and how disgusting the ending is? Have you seen these films before? I just, stop saying every bad movie is as bad as Manos to get it on the cover of it or get it in the articles or whatever when it's not. maybe it felt that bad writing it, but you have to look objectively at the film and be like, is it actually Manos bad? Because 99.99% of the times, it will not be. And if it is, Rifftrax has probably already done it.
Rising amount of garbage.
Working for you, Tom?
Oh, Joel, you are a miracle
Why would
worker.
you have to yell?
So,
Oh, Joel, let me kiss your ass real quick. We've dealt with this before with Tom. That he can see things, they're just red. Because he has, like, color blindness or whatever. Because Kevin actually had color blindness. I think Mike does too. And it's like, that was the joke. He can see everything, it's just without eyes. That's the joke, is that he doesn't have eyes, but can see everything, but then it just was revealed that he was colorblind. So now I'm like, oh no, Tom can't see anything at all, it's just heat signature. I mean, maybe if you make the excuse it's just Emily's Tom, but like, they love changing up canon things with these seasons. And again, let's waste your time with another Tom can't see based host segment when we just did one 20 minutes ago! And that had to be padded with Waverly and Growler doing fuck all. Like, why?
It's a
Connor is, and I'm sorry, of this trio, same thing happened in Joel's first episode. With Joel, Kelsey, and Connor, Connor's easily the best riffer. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I think with the scripts they are given, Connor reads it the best of these three. I'm not going to count, like, Jonah and Hampton and Baron in that, because I think Jonah and Hampton are also very strong. But whether it's Emily and her whole crew or Joel with this crew, Connor's easily the best riffer, so you just lobotomized your best one. Congratulations.
You've got such a kind face.
Stop it!
Oh my god, what is that thing?
I'm gonna die. Can we go 2 fucking seconds without kissing Joel's ass in this? Like, for the love of God. Twice. Joel, you're a genius. Joel, you have such a kind face.
Did it work?
Oh no!
There go the eyebrows.
Ooh, something up high. So is that thing gonna drop in supplies and fire extinguisher and stuff? Is that how? No, it's airlifting it.
My math on this.
I don't know why she's screaming. I just like, yeah, it's bad, but they're acting like it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
We were gonna
It's
open
not.
our own saloon.
Munchie is way worse. If you were gonna say a
name,
movie in this season, could if you were gonna say a movie in this season, could even compare to something as bad as Manos?
Oh, they're back.
It would be Munchie.
Mine, sweet mine.
Like, right? Or even the weird scenes in The Mask. Oh, that's why she was screaming. Shit.
I can't help but feel partially responsible.
She burned to death.
Must be Sunday.
Lord, okay. I was like, when she was screaming when they were airlifting it, I'm like, is it because it was their only transportation? Why is she screaming like that? I didn't even think about the lady didn't get out. No one saved her, or I guess she was unsavable. Like, because they airlifted it before they could do anything, and she burned to death. Ah! That is terrible. That is bad.
I believe that you're afraid to talk, so...
Doctor, please help us.
Some kind of orders or something?
Punch them!
Doctor's orders.
All you had to do was push Tony down. Go find any other able-bodied man so you don't feel that bad, and punch him or push him down.
Point so loud.
I waited every day for you to want to talk about it.
And stuff.
Now I don't know where to begin.
What?
Well, I'm going to say something.
So your wife was in her own psychotic break and you weren't helping her at all?
Is not only all around this place, but is over it.
I'm over it, I'll tell you that.
That's the reason the weather's always so perfect.
It can't,
The sun
but
and the moon
wait!
look so distorted.
Stop! Okay, it can't just... Okay, first of all, stupid. They don't have projections of the sun and moon. They let them see the actual sun and moon. The problem is, if it is fully covered, how did the plane land inside? How did the, I assume bad guys or masterminds, have the blimp come inside? That doesn't make any sense. It has to open somewhere, even if it's up high. But my question is, what do the bad guys want out of this town? If, like, they're all these electro-lobotomized people, basically. What are you even watching for? Because clearly they can't live, like, normal lives, so you're not watching to see... like, if you were watching to see if the electric chair thing had bad consequences and, like, the lobotomies don't work or something, you would already see that and know that this isn't working because they can't live normal lives. Like, I don't... Unless it's the government trying to be like, can we control people? If we just electro everyone, can we control them better? Which I guess would be true. But, like, because otherwise I don't know why the bad guys would even be doing this. There's, like, no scientific reason I could think of that this makes any sense to waste your time and grant money on this.
The way they keep doing the same thing over and over again.
That's showbiz.
They were under some kind of compulsion.
Okay.
It's like they were on exhibition.
Nudists.
It's like a living museum.
Okay.
So that's what it's supposed to be? Like for aliens?
Talk and talk, but you still haven't answered this.
Solve for X.
Something really did come here during the storm. Well, how could it have done all this so quickly?
What?
This was all...
Aw, man, she called my bluff.
Confusion.
I didn't think she'd actually ask me about my theories. Gotta think of something cool, stat.
Come on, just Matt, pat it up, dude. You can do it. So I guess what he's saying is that in the storm, this place didn't already exist. It was in the storm that, like, these aliens came down and set up this bubble. So that's why the plane could, quote-unquote, get through it, because it just didn't exist yet. And it lowered this bubble to encase people like a living museum. Why wouldn't you just steal the people and abduct them and make them a living museum on your planet? Who knows? But you lowered it. Can they create some kind of time tunnel or something? Because I'm like, they were in the present, obviously, but then there's so many people and so many buildings that it's from the 1800s and stuff. So, is it based off our media? Because some of the buildings look more like movie sets, and the aliens just dropped all that off at once, and they zapped all the people in the area into thinking like this. I am confused.
And a giant redwood tree whose total lifespan is 1,000 years. How long is a minute to it?
No, but that doesn't make... But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, because even if they came down to Earth, and to us it was a day, or to us it was like an hour, let's say, that they set all this up, maybe they're super fast, but, like, that doesn't... What? Like, the time distortion doesn't make sense the way he's presenting it. The film has no clue what it's doing. That's what it is. The film doesn't understand.
Huh. When I say it out loud, it sounds kind of dumb.
Right?
But
again, why would you bother lobotomizing the people?
By sea monkeys.
Like, to be a living museum, then they aren't real people.
Hey,
you know?
look at me.
2 days with that leg. And where are you going?
To get some things.
How long are you going to be?
A minute.
Half an hour.
All right.
Time is distorted, Mark.
Half an hour then.
Human time.
Don't worry about Tony.
Yeah, right?
Things we take off the grocery shelves, well, they're never replaced.
They're closed.
Oh.
It seems that we're actually the only ones who take things out of the store.
Shoot! Oh no.
Looters?
Actually, that is bad then. Either they're gonna die in, like, 3 weeks, or the aliens
I'm driving backwards all the way home.
gave them something? Gave them some supplements?
This is where they come.
And that is where they go.
Oh, so does that give them the nutrients they need?
I've watched them.
Creed.
Don't go in there, girl! Stop!
Feed in there.
They're all keyed
Feed
up, and
what
they won't
on
shut
what?
up about it.
Oh, honey.
Look, isn't it about time
Uh-oh.
For what?
that you face reality?
Oh, apt thing to say to a new mom.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes the bubble.
Reality.
Great.
It's weird that the aliens or whatever though haven't
So free before?
forced them into
Was I
lobotomization
the
then.
9 to 5 routine year after year?
But, Mark, to live like
Meta.
an animal under the eye of...
Since when haven't I been under an eye?
As a child.
As a child, hell. First there was school. Then there was the army. And after the army...
Okay, Mark! Oh god. Like, I get the message the film is trying to portray. To an extent, I kind of agree with it, at least in America, where the 9 to 5 grind and placing your career above all else, and the fact that now, when you used to be able to be a house painter and raise a family, to now it's like, you could be in a highfalutin office and barely be scraping by, is terrible. You are always under an eye at school, and the public education system is crap. I get it. And it sucks. As a mentally ill person myself, having to work in a system like this with your mental problems, it sucks. And I'm dealing with that, having to get a new job right now. Often when I get a job, I want to off myself because of how bad it is and how much it affects my anxiety and depression. I get what he's trying to say. But even as terrible as it gets, even if you're just looking at it from me personally, let alone who has struggled with it already, like, I know how bad it is. To compare living a life, we're just going to say in America in this case, with school and a 9-to-5 job and all that stuff, versus living in a human zoo where people have to feed an alien, whatever the hell that was supposed to be, and can't say more than like 3 sentences and walk the same path the same way every single day with, like, there's no human interaction and there's no entertainment media, there's nothing, there's no imagination, there's no religion, there's like nothing to help you cope with what is going on, is highly different. Again, I have a lot of problems with the current system of things, and I agree to an extent with what he means, but comparing it to this is very, very weak. That does not count, Mark. It does not count.
Stop tearing yourself apart over a world that doesn't even exist anymore.
The end.
Be grateful for this one.
What? Honey, you married the wrong man. I'm sorry, but if I was in a bubble like that, I might just kill myself.
They're walking dead.
Right.
And I think to myself,
what a
wonderful world.
But what's so smart about beating your head against the wall?
Well, it's invigorating.
If you could get out of here, where would you go? Into a dead world? Is that what you want?
Mark! A world where my baby can, like, have a life of some kind. No!
Somebody up there's got a claw machine.
What are they doing?
If somebody wants to rapture us into heaven, they'll have to catch us first.
See, Mark, well, you care about the baby's life now? Jeez. You let yourself pass out when you just saw another one with a baby get abducted. What were you thinking was gonna happen to your wife and baby?
Oh, at least he didn't back up again.
The bubble action set by Marks comes with
also, they're acting like, they're acting, oh, the backing up scene was so long. Have you ever seen a James Wen parking scene? Okay. No Sigma time. Again, boring film. I was like, no! When that lady with the baby got abducted, though, to be honest. So again, more engaging than Manos by this much. Okay, I assume we're gonna just strap in here for some terrible, terrible shit for these 3 hosts to try to make a plan. At this point, everything seems like it's thanks to Emily for the couple of things that we know, which is also kind of weird, seeing as how Jonah was also like a genius engineer or something, because he could do this stuff with the bots. So, let's see what happens. It's time to rhyme and forfeit to wanna die.
Clear, our future seemed destined. Are you getting this signal, Connor and Heston?
Loud and clear, Joel, and just in time. I really look forward to talking in rhyme.
So, the hour of our mission will soon be at hand, and we're both curious to know what you've got planned.
All right.
I am literally gonna die. I am gonna... Okay. The Emily moment was cute. I was about to compliment it, which I will. Emily moment was cute. Holy Lord in heaven. Okay. All this shit. And it's gonna be Joel's plan. Joel, who never escaped of his own will in 5.5 years. Joel, who literally was on the satellite this whole time, like never tried to escape even once, and the one time he did it was thanks to Mike and Gypsy? He's the one, especially after you implied that Emily is the one that knows the ships really well. So shouldn't, if you're gonna pick one of the hosts that isn't Jonah to do the whole thing on their own, shouldn't it be Emily? Shouldn't it be Emily? We don't even know why Joel is up here. We don't even know why Joel was up here 1,000 years in the future, whatever bullshit they came up with. We don't know. And again, to have Emily put the idea in Jonah's head we could escape, and he's done nothing at all. Jonah, the one who was able to trap the Mads temporarily, but still at the end of the gauntlet, who was able to make a better gypsy design and make it so Tom could fly and all that stuff, and you're gonna do this, you're gonna just... Even if I take out my anger in terms of my beloved not getting to be smart anymore for some reason... Why is it Joel and not Emily? Why is it Joel and not Emily? Just because it has to kiss his fucking asshole over and over and over. That's why. Because it can't not make Joel the center of the universe. Even though with Mystery Science, he never was. It gets good after Mike became head writer. And even if you want to say it wasn't the only reason, fine. But they sure as hell didn't need him after he left. After Joel left, he didn't need him. They were totally fine without him. Most of the best episodes are from after he left. I thought it was going to be Emily, and I was already mad. You can remember that when Emily first came in and they did this the first time, I was like, you're really going to let it be Emily and have it be like Jonah was too stupid to try to escape it all again, right? And I was like, fine, whatever. Like, I didn't like it, but fine. And then you bring Joel in, and I'm like, okay. But, like, you're going to make it him and not Emily. I'm going to explode. Okay.
Hey, listen close, because this plan's gonna thrive. Oh, Jonah, you still have that old percussive drive?
Yeah, I've got it.
Great, hold on to that.
That wasn't around,
we need
okay.
it along with your drums and hi-hat. We'll hook up the drive.
He still has the drums! Where have those been the last 2 seasons? I loved the opening with Jonah's drums at the beginning. But how would Joel know he had them? How would Joel know if he had them? That was like Jonah's like thesis for school or something. Okay.
Once the deep hurting and the satellite are tethered, we do an all-host riff. Just me and you guys.
We'll be tricking the Mads right in front of their eyes. We'll have Cynthia take us aboard the backjack, and I'll bring the drive inside a backpack. Right after...
I'm glad that Emily got to be at least part of the plan. I'm glad that Emily's the one that came up with the whole them riffing together, I guess, and not being Kinga or Joel, thank God. But I do wish they'd let Jonah have something to do other than being told what to do. Just, I hate this. I hate it. I can't do it. Again, this is terrible and I hate it. But, like, the biggest deal to me about all this nonsense is, like, the fact that it should have been a 3-person plan then if you're going to do this. Instead it's just Joel's, and then Emily kind of comes in at the end. When initially it sounded like it was going to be Emily's plan. So again, you're not even keeping continuity in your own 3 effing host segments that have had anything to do with this. You're letting it all be about Joel now because everything's about Joel. Joel's whole life is about him. Either A, their plan's going to just completely fail. Nothing's going to happen plot-wise. We might even barely see anything come to fruition at all. / nothing's going to be funny. There's not going to be a single joke in there that actually works. Or it'll be something super subtle, like Emily being really happy about rhyming, and it'll be something like, okay, that's cute. Has nothing to do with the point of this whole effing thing. And then the only other thing that could possibly happen plot-wise is they will technically fail, but Joel will escape somehow. So he isn't obligated to, like, be in the next season or whatever, and they never have to explain anything. So we'll see. Either way, it's terrible and I hate it. Either way, it'll be a waste of our time. Either way, it's not going to amount to anything, just like all the other stuff, except maybe getting rid of Joel, which would be like the biggest blessing at this point. Because they can't stop kissing his ass. Like, if it had even, like, it would have been bad enough if it was just his plan that Emily tacked something onto. But with all the stuff with Servo earlier, I'm just like, bruh. Like, bruv, it all has to be about him. And again, and again, last thing, in addition to all this crap, they're acting like this movie is one of the worst ones they've ever done, one of the worst they've ever seen, one of the worst Joel's ever had to go through because he's screaming in the theater, and I'm like, Joel, you're such a lightweight. You're such a lightweight. This film, again, I don't care how depressing the ending is, this film is nowhere near close to Manos' level of terrible between the way it's shot, the audio, everything. Even technically, the performances, while bad, are not an old woman dubbing in the voice of a little girl bad. So, you know, there's no Torgo in this. You know what I mean? There's no, like, it's just so weird to me. Being like, oh my gosh, this is the new Manos, so much that Joel's other character has to just be like, yeah, it's so bad, it's so totally Manos. Is it King of the Best Forester? Because she's giving them something as bad as Manos. Okay, let's just finish this, because I'm about to hear an off-screen gunshot. Tell me the baby's okay. No, thank God.
let it take my baby.
Oh, so now it's your baby.
Yeah, because Mark doesn't care. He was like, I guess we're just living here, and our son will be better
At the
off.
Swiss Family Robinson.
I've been wondering,
Does our marriage count in this realm? Please say no.
do you think that there are other places like this all over the world?
Epcot.
Other bubbles?
For a split second, the top of this thing must have been open, and we flew in it like a fly under a cake cover.
Oh?
Wait.
That's a hell of a comparison.
So, okay, so it did have a top that can open, is what you're saying. Because then he said, no, in the storm, the dome just appeared, and the time was all wibbly-wobbly, and so that's why the town looks the way it does, and why we got caught in here, because there wasn't a top, it just, like, came up over us in the storm. Now he's saying, no, it has existed already, and the plane got through the top. The writers did not double-check this script at all, did they?
You know, I think this movie's broken, and so am I.
See, that's a decent one, for sure.
You want to forget that you're a human being, Doctor?
Hells yeah.
Doctor, I'm not going to let you.
I'm
Don't, what are you doing?
Free will.
Yeah, that's fair. You idiot.
It's a
What the?
Lunchable.
Ew!
Whoa, look out, it's the day for night shot.
You're kidding me!
The green budget on this movie must have been through the roof.
You've gotta be kidding me.
Meat sap.
Okay, out.
What?
What? That was actually okay.
Don't come out till you're ready to be with the others.
That's kind of harsh, Joel.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just kidding. Come on.
Good.
This movie's making me rammy.
It doesn't make sense because it's not that bad.
Please come up and get some rest.
How can I get this thing done? You bitching at me.
Whoa, hey.
Jeez. Oh no.
This is a B movie. Get it? B movie?
Tom, come on, you're better than this, please.
Not really. Tom does that all the time.
Promise me.
What?
Kill
Kill? I couldn't even begin to reach.
the baby. Kill the baby.
Oh my lord.
They might do terrible things to him. If you do it, he won't suffer so much. Please promise me, Mark.
Oh no!
I gotta work.
All right, we're gonna have to create an entirely new rating system to fit the depravity of this movie.
Rated N for nope.
I mean, the end of Manos, again, also really disgusting.
Imagine the irony when he finally strikes gold.
I mean, the little girl lives, but at what cost? Oh, come on. Please, get the baby! Go!
Mark!
I don't understand.
Starving, all.
What's he talking about?
There's been no food for 2 days.
Some people say that
Oh,
it's the
shit.
addition of 2 adults and a baby that's depleted our food supply.
But they weren't eating the groceries, it was only them. So did they shut off the food thing to drive them out? No! Why would they leave? Why would they leave? He had it. He should have been like, Doc, if you stay here with the baby, let me and my wife finish digging out this thing at the bottom, we can actually get up and out of here.
It finally happened. I'm completely out of things to say. It's like ripping on the same movie over and over and over again. I can't take it. The bubble is real. Ah!
Wonder what he wanted.
First of all, you literally just riffed. Crow, they literally just had him speak. Secondly, it's not. Like, is it boring? Yes. Is it a Mobius strip of a movie? Yes, but so is Final Justice. And it's like, them acting like this is one of the worst ones they've done, even this season, is ridiculous to me. Them doing it with this movie and not, like, The Mask. And again, I don't think The Mask was the absolute worst they've done or anywhere near Manos levels. No, it has some weird Manos-y moments. I don't think it's Manos levels of bad. But I would put it that far above this in terms of Manos bad.
Mark,
are they going to kill him?
We just started a cult.
They're going to kill them, aren't they?
I know normally this would be a happy ending, but this is the bubble. It's a trap.
Right.
This is never going to end.
Ew, don't eat it, you moron.
Grows back.
We're a family again.
Either
Arch Obler's the bubble.
Was that it? No, is that it? Holy crap, that wasn't it! That was it. Okay. Well then... Then why, for the love of God, did they say it was worse than Manos? Is it boring as hell? Yes. Is it the same few scenes over and over? Yes. But other movies have done that. Other movies have done that way worse. There's worse acting, audio, editing, everything in other movies. And there's an implied happy ending. What are you talking about? In Manos, you end up having the whole family being overtaken by Manos with a freaking child bride scene. Like implication, I'll say. But this implies they'll all get out and it'll be okay. They'll help fix these people. They'll go tell the world what's going on. It's a hopeful ending. Why would anyone say this was as bad as Manos? Again, it'd be different if they just shilled it on Twitter like that to get a few extra clicks, a few extra snaps to buy it, like me, right? But the fact that in the movie they have both Kinga and Joel's other character say, oh yeah, it's as bad or worse than Manos. The King of Chrome had a hard time with this, it's built for Manos. Either this writing crew are just a bunch of sissies, or they really wanted to try to be like, see, this is just as good as old Mystery Science, look how bad this movie is, and it really wasn't! Again, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but you could say that about any movie they did this season, pretty much. The only one, I think, that when they freaked out, it made sense, and it deserved to be freaked out about, was Munchie. I could have even given them the weirdo scenes in The Mask. But not this. It's just marketing shit, guys. It's just... It's either, look, it's marketing, or they don't remember how bad these movies can actually get. It's one or the other, and that's it. It's Joel Tripping. See, I'm gonna riff a movie as bad as Manos again. See, me. I'm doing the worst one this season. Not even close.
Emily, Jonah, you ready, Mama Jamas?
Ready as I'll ever be, Joel.
Me? I was born ready.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I was born ready. I'm good.
All right.
No rhymes,
phase
though.
One of Operation Trick 'em.
Max and Kinga left a note. It says gone to therapy.
Therapy? I didn't know they were in therapy. I could have saved them a bundle.
That's rich, considering you're the root of all the dysfunction in this family.
That's the one good interaction.
I know.
That's the one good thing they've let Mary Jo do all season. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Girl, kudos for the great idea of having all three of us co-host an enormous holiday spectacular. You remember the one where we each come together at the end for an all-host riff for the next movie?
You know, the kind of thing that would drive social media engagement through the roof.
It'd be funny if it's not what they actually did. You know what I mean? Like when Kinga made a joke about ratings in season 11, like it would be funny because Max would be like, "We're on Netflix, so that doesn't matter." Then that makes it kind of funny. Social media ratings through the roof, like that's why they did it. That's why they did it. That's the only reason Emily and Joel both exist in the same season. That's the only reason they said this episode was as bad as Manos. It's literally just for the social media clicks and the extra engagement. That's literally it. Even though none of it is true and none of it was worth it and none of it was good, it should have been either just Emily or just Joel or just friggin' Jonah, like it should have always been anyway. It's like it's. Oh, okay. There's like 2 minutes left.
Subscriber numbers through the roof, thus driving Forrester family holding stock through yet another
Jonah, stop it!
Yeah, that tracks. Everything through the roof.
Wait, whose idea was this?
It was yours. I mean, I seem to remember Kinga saying you were the most special grandma ever. Surely this is ringing a bell.
She did.
Why do you care? You never cared until this season. Now, letting Jonah be the one to be just like kind of the emotional manipulator because you know them the longest. I appreciate that for sure. But, okay.
Right, yeah. My great idea that I had, yeah.
My big plan is that this thing finally be over.
We've got it all mapped out. Whoops. Wrong
Oh, God. Okay, that was actually
Cynthia
funny.
will gather the hosts together via the backjack onto Joel's satellite love for the
How's the
all-host Rift
backjack?
Spectacular.
Resulting in the greatest
The-
holiday crossover event since
Why
John
didn't Jonah get a
Denver
hat?
and the Muppets.
Ha!
Together.
Oh yeah,
That
it's
would-
gonna
that would be
like
awesome.
Dick Clark's.
I was just coming to say the same thing, since I saw it in the future.
Dr. Cabal is the best mad this season.
Cynthia.
I've already kind of said all I have to say about this. The whole thing about ratings and stuff, and stepping through the roof would be funnier if that wasn't the whole reason they did it in the first place, and you know that it is. You know that it is. What other reason, guys, would there be in a 13-episode season to introduce two new hosts? You know what I mean? Two new hosts into this situation, right? Without that. And the thing that pissed me off the most about this episode, honestly, isn't even the terrible escape plan and Joel coming up with it, which is already awful. Because, again, everything's about Joel. Everything's about Joel. I'm glad, thank God, I was wrong. I don't remember if I read it somewhere or if someone on Twitch had said that they heard it. I don't know. Thank God they let Connor just riff the whole time. Because he, of those three, is easily the best performer, in my opinion. He actually hits the jokes the funniest, I think. I think I actually like him more than Baron's Tom by quite a bit as well. Even though he's kind of copying Baron's Tom. Or, like, mimicking it in terms of, like, because he did the live shows, right? So I'm glad it was Connor, and I'll give them points for that, for not raking Josh back in here for no reason. I appreciated that for sure. But the thing that gets me is I'm like, outside of the host segments, which, again, were terrible. Because the thing is, if you want to say the Gunslinger episode was, what, 25, 30 years ago. So we shouldn't have to worry about there being a similar host segment. I'll even give you that. But then they did the same host segment twice. They did it twice. It was about Tom not being able to see twice. And I'm just like, why are we doing this? Because it wasn't even like a plot one or based on a short or something fun like that. Like when it's like the cheating one that's through the whole thing or Tom going on a date or anything like that. It just was weird. So them finally coming up with the plan and the plan being theirs to do the three hosts thing. I don't like it. Like I just don't like this idea. Like, to sum up really quick on the host segments, I guess, because I veered off in that direction. The Waverly and Growler stuff was awful. It was terrible. I love those guys, especially Growler. Like, Waverly I don't like at first, but he got less sexist and weird as it went on. Less flirty and weird, I should say. So, it just... So seeing them again, I'm like, are they going to be doing some cool henchman thing? Is this going to be something that kind of sets up part of the plot of the next episode? No, it was literally just Waverly getting hit on the head over and over and being like, DJ in the morning, DJ in the evening, DJing at supper time. Like, just the stupidest effing waste of time that a segment's had in a while. Like, it was pointless. It was pointless. So that was already hard on me, because I'm just like, I don't get why you take these guys. Why are these guys even still here? They've done nothing. They've contributed nothing. The Boneheads contributed more in a lot of episodes than these guys have in these, which is, because at least the Boneheads had a band. So then, I have some questions. How would Joel know about Jonah's stuff, about the percussion thing, and about the drums? He wouldn't. The fact that it's Jonah's own technology, but they're going to have it be Joel and Emily that tell him how to use it and how to do it, instead of it being him coming up with, like, hey, I have this, could we use it? And maybe then Joel and Emily can take the lead, be like, oh, that's a great thing, Jonah, we can use it for this. How did Joel know he had it? Even Emily knowing he had it is a little sus, but she built the simulator, so if it's supposed to be an identical match to Jonah's, I guess she would have to know it was there, right? So that even would have made sense. The fact that it was Joel is stupid. The fact that most of the plan is Joel's idea is stupid. I'm glad that Emily had at least something to do with it. I guess technically Jonah's contribution is the percussion thing, but I think that's stupid. He should have had some kind of idea. The one thing I'll give him that was good, that I'm glad they gave him, was when it came to manipulating Pearl into it, he was the one that emotionally manipulated her because he knows her and Kinga best of this crew easily. Emily and Joel wouldn't know crap about these people. Jonah has been Kinga's captive for a long time and seen all this stuff with Pearl. Now, again, it doesn't make sense why Pearl would actually give a shit, but it at least makes sense in that way. Like, Jonah being the one who emotionally manipulate makes sense. I think it's gonna be stupid. I don't think it's gonna be great, at all. I don't like the way Joel's riffing this season. again, like I said, I think Connor is easily the best of these new hosts slash returning, of the new riffers and the returning riffers that all came in. It's like Jonah and Hampton are always really good, and then Connor's really good. But the others just really are all the same, or just not very good at all. Like, I'm sorry, Kelsey is kind of annoying sometimes. And I'm not just saying, oh, it's her fault, she riffs terribly. If she was riffing in her own voice, maybe it would be great, but riffing as Crow, it comes off as annoying. And not always, but so, like, her whole freaking out about the bubble was annoying in two ways. One was the actual delivery was annoying. And sometimes, like I said, though, Baron's delivery can be annoying, too, when they have him go, like, super high and squeaky. Like, I hate that. I think he and Kelsey both need to work on their squeaks and their yells, because they get annoying. Again, nothing against them as people or as performers overall, but as these characters, they have issues. And then, going into the movie with that Crow bit, they act like the bubble was, like, the worst thing they'd ever seen. Like, either, like, and I'm not saying this to, like, puff up myself, but either I am way more used to terrible movies than I thought. Like, I am way stronger in terms of watching crappy movies than I thought I was. Or, like, these guys, again, it's one of two things, are either weak as F, like, weak AF, or it was all a marketing stunt, which is what I assume it was. By saying that and then having at the beginning of the, oh, it's bad as Manos, it's bad as Manos. I think that it has to have been a lie, right? Even though in the writer's room, I'm sure it was a slog. I think Beyond Atlantis would have been just as much of a slog. Like, I wasn't a writer. I wasn't there. But the thing that this movie has over a couple of the other ones this season, hi Rudy, you scared me. But something this movie has over a ton of the other movies this season that are also boring is I was actually a little invested. Yes, it goes on too long and things repeat over and over, but I wanted that baby to live. I wanted that mom to be okay. Like, I did care enough to want to see what would happen. So, that's more than I can say for like 85% of the movies this season. So to say that The Bubble is not only one of the worst they've done, but as bad or worse, on the edge of being Manos bad, is a complete lie. Either you guys are the weakest team of writers this group has ever had, which is probably true anyway, or you're like literally just lying for brownie points with the fans, for marketing points or whatever. Again, not a good episode at all. The riff was a standard season 13 riff, that is to say, not very good. The host segments, overall, terrible. They were boring, they were just awful, filler, waste of time. When you have to use the same idea twice in one episode, and it's not supposed to be like it's connected, you know what I mean? Stupid. The Star Trek stuff was out of nowhere, but like, whatever. I don't watch Star Trek, maybe that's funny if you do. I got most of the jokes anyway, but, you know, whatever. And then the stuff at the end, again, it's like, give Jonah more to do, but like, fine. Like, I guess he got an extra episode, so I guess I should be happy about that. But it's totally stupid. I think it's a terrible idea. You tease me with Dr. Cabal coming in. That's where Baron shines, in my opinion, is being a mad. Why isn't he just a mad or a mad and Tom? Like, because that is where he's really good. He has these facial expressions and he has that voice and he does a really good job as Dr. Cabal. You had a cute Emily moment where she was happy about being able to rhyme. You had a cute Mary Jo moment where she's like, you're the reason for all the issues in the family. And she's like, yeah, like that was good. That was genuinely good. Those were genuinely cute, funny moments for sure. But otherwise, guys, it's another shitty season 13 episode, made extra shitty by the fact they have to kiss Joel's ass the whole time, and they're trying to bring in this plot that is not gonna go anywhere. It's not. If I will eat my hat for real, like if they end up doing something with this to tease the next season and it actually goes somewhere, I will absolutely give them points. But it's going to be another Reptilicus Roboticus nonsense kiss, or it's going to be, oh, we're totally going to play Idiot Control now and watch the Mad's ashes be spread and be super disrespectful to the characters. Oh, no, never mind, we're not going to see it. Like, even though we wasted 3 episodes of host segments on it, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it was an excuse to get them all in the theater for this one thing, and I think even that is an excuse for ratings. Like they even said, it's not funny when it's true. You know, like, I mean, it can be funny and true, But in my mind, it's like they're kind of just spitting in the face of the fans, being like, you're gonna swallow this up, you're gonna gobble it up anyway. Like, and just doing that to us. Instead of like, can we just get all the riffers that are like actually good together? Can we stop kissing Joel's butt? Can we please let Emily stand on her own a little bit more and have another episode of herself instead of giving Joel 2 where it didn't really matter that it was him, it could have been anybody. This season, guys, I've said it over and over, it's a piece of crap. I think it's one of the worst they've ever done. I think there's so many problems with it, between the actual jokes, the host segments, the characters, the lack of character development in most cases. It really doesn't matter. Joel has no chemistry with these bots, by the way. Joel has no chemistry with these bots at all. Which is why, again, it's sad, because I think they have at least a little bit more with Emily, because that's who they were meant for. But he has no chemistry with them at all. It does not make sense. So when they're like hugging him, or they're just like, oh, we love you, Joel, we're a family. Like, no, you're not! You're Emily's family, if anything. Stupid. I hate it. Yeah, guys, this whole season is a waste. It's like, again, I do encourage you to check out what you want on your own, for sure. It would be unfair of me to just be like, this is my opinion, so you should never watch it. No. This season is terrible. This season is terrible. But yeah, guys, I don't know. It's just weak. Just so weak. So weak. It's just this whole season. The jokes often don't land. Or if they do, they then start to get weaker by the second half of the movie, if not before. Again, do take your time. Pick an episode you think would be enjoyable. To give it a try if you have not yet. But it's an empty husk, guys. It is a husk of what it was. I feel like even in the Netflix episodes, they were trying a little bit harder to make it at least a little like the old days. In a legitimate way, even though Joel was involved. Now it's just a whole, like, you know, F you guys, you're gonna buy whatever we sell anyway. You're gonna kickstart us $6 million. You're gonna get us what we want. You're gonna give us all this stuff. You're gonna meet all these expectations. And no matter what terrible episodes, terrible twists, and additional characters that we don't need, we throw at you, you're gonna watch it anyway. And the sad thing is we have. And I just, you know, as part of this channel, I will always watch and review the episodes as they come out. But for my money, guys, it's like, it's the original episodes and riff tracks. Just the original episodes and riff tracks are all you need. You don't need this, in my opinion. You also don't need Cinematic Titanic. I don't even really think you need Film Crew. I only have 4 episodes anyway, but I don't even think you need Film Crew, really. But it's like, Mystery Science originals and riff tracks are like, that's where you get the bang for your buck. That's where everything is worth it. That's where everything's actually funny. And when they tell you, this is the worst film we've done since Sandy the Ice Cream Bunny, since Lichen Colony, since Fungicide, since whatever, it's usually accurate. It usually is terrible in a different way. This was just a boring over and over movie. They've done that before. Them not just saying that it's like Manos in the, like, online and in, you know, articles and stuff, but saying it in the episode was just a cheap, crappy way to pretend that it would be anywhere near, A, that iconic for the series, and B, that bad of a movie, because it wasn't even close, no matter what they tell you. If Joel or this crew says, this joke is so dark, this episode's movie is so bad, they're lying. Either that, or they really do have the lowest pain tolerances I've ever seen. It just is really bad, in my opinion, when they say that, because none of it's been true so far, in my opinion. If you watched this and thought it was as bad as Manos, then we have different ways of seeing how bad a movie is, I guess. And I'm not mad at you, I'm just mad at them for saying it, because it doesn't make sense to me. We'll see how this season ends. Again, my money is on nothing happening, or the other two getting stuck there somehow and only Joel leaves. I would be shocked, flabbergasted, if the 3 of them escape, like get through the time tunnel on purpose. If they ended off with that cliffhanger, on the one hand, I want to give them points for mixing it up. On the other hand, I don't, because it kind of looked like they were going somewhere with Reptilicus, and then it doesn't even end with a joke. You make us wait 18 months, year and a half, and you didn't even sum it up with a joke. It just stopped. So even if they do that, I'll give them points for doing something different, but I cannot give them points for the ending until we see it, right? So we'll see. Again, my money's on nothing happening, including jokes, but we'll see. So As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and for watching me just lose my mind bit by bit over the course of this season. So, thank you very much. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. And thank you to all of the incredible people who have been on this list for the St. Jude Hospital stuff. Almost forgot, and then I didn't. Nightwing, Techno Dan, Frank, Rogue 2, Rich, Tommy Gun Servo, Mist Explorer, Curator of Entropy, Adam, Guido, Bleach Black Cat, Ryan, Roy, Jackie, Donna, Dr. Donna 42, sorry, City Forever, Stuffy Wolf, Kevin, Servo 1991, Angry American, Roland, and the It and Fit. Thank you guys so much once again for all your amazing stuff. I didn't want to have to edit that into the end. I wanted to be sure it was all in one thing. So thank you guys for your incredible donations, and thank you guys for watching, and again, putting up with me being just mad. Because I know a lot of people liked these. You know, good for you. I wish I enjoyed it as well. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys later.